guys, welcome back to my channel. So it is officially that time of the month again where I'm going to give you guys my reading wrap up for the month. So in the month of February, I read 1 young adult romance, 2 romances, and 2 thrillers, which was a total of 5 books and 1,796 pages. So I want to talk about the books that I read today and give you all my reviews and ratings because honestly, some of these books were very good and I want to share them with you guys. But quick disclaimer, I'm currently getting over the flu, so if I cough, if I sound not so great, it's because I'm currently getting over the flu. So just wanted to put a little disclaimer out there. I'm not my best self right now. So first up, we have The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. This book is literally the perfect young adult romance book for Valentine's Day for February because it takes place on Valentine's Day. So in this, you are following, I don't know if it's pronounced Emily or Amelie, but I'm gonna put the name here because I'm not good with names. I believe it's Emily. We're gonna go with Emily for this video. We're following Emily, who is trying to have a perfect Valentine's Day, but by the end of the day, she catches her boyfriend cheating on her. Her dad says that she's moving to Texas. There's just a lot of things that go wrong. And then she wakes up the next morning and it's Valentine's Day all over again. So you are kind of going in this cycle of her reliving Valentine's Day over and over and over again. So it's like got like the whole Groundhog Day trope, and I honestly like that trope. I know that it's not everyone's favorite, but I like trying to figure out why it's happening. So I thought it was very entertaining, but I did get like a little cringed out at times because it is a high school story that you're following. It is young adult, so it's very like not my age range at all. So there were times when I was just cringing a little bit, but then I realized, okay, it's like literally supposed to be like that. Like the reason she's acting immature is because she's literally like, I don't know, 17 or something like that. She's not my age. So that's my only issue with this, but it is so cute, so sweet. I love Lynn Painter's writing and I just had a lot of fun with this one, and it's under 300 pages, so it is like the perfect little short romance book. And I ended up giving this one 4.25 stars. I just had so much fun with it and I would highly recommend this one. Oh my god. Okay, so now let's move on to the 2 romance books that I read. So first we have Powerless by Elsie Silver. So this is the 3rd book in the Chestnut Spring series. In this one, you are following Jasper, who is Rhett and Cade's from the first 2 books, their best friend. And you are following Sloane, who is Cade and Rhett's cousin. So again, in this one, you are getting a lot of found family trope, but you're getting a huge friends to lovers trope, like probably the best friends to lovers that I've ever read about, because they have been friends for so long and they are best friends and they've been through a lot together, and Sloane is really the only person who really understands everything that Jasper has gone through. And so they're both dealing with some pretty like heavy emotional things in their lives. So you're following them through that and them hanging out and spending all this time together. I just love the family in this, and all of the characters are just so good. I just love them so much. But I will say this is my least favorite so far in the Chestnut Spring series. I gave Heartless 5 stars and I gave Flawless 4.5 stars, but I did settle on 4 stars for this one. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just my personal taste in romance books is I don't necessarily like friends to lovers because I feel like we miss out unless there's like the time jump sort of thing where you get all of the story from when they met until now. I feel like you're missing a lot of their story and a lot of the important details that led to them feeling the way that they do for each other, if that makes sense. That's just my personal book taste. And so I just felt like we were missing some like key details to their romance, and there was a little bit of miscommunication in it that I just didn't like. But other than that, I love this so much, and again, I gave it 4 stars, so it was so good, and I would highly recommend the whole Chestnut Spring series. I can't wait to get to the last 2. I have them sitting on my shelf and I just can't wait to finish this series. And next we have Daydream by Hannah Grace. So this is in the series along with Icebreaker and Wildfire. It is in the Maple Hills series. So in this, you are following Hallie and Henry, and they meet at a book club and they kind of realize that all of like their friends are kind of like connected, so they end up seeing each other a lot more and they end up kind of just falling for each other. It didn't get too heavy into the romance of this one. I feel like it didn't feel like it was part of the series, if I'm being honest. I loved Wildfire. I think I gave Wildfire like 4.25 stars or something like that, and then Icebreaker was like pretty good too. Like I enjoyed Icebreaker too. This one just didn't really feel one of the books in the series. It was weird, and I really enjoyed Henry's character when we saw him in the first 2 books, but in this one he kind of cringed me out a little bit at times. But what he did for her in the end and both of their character development I feel like was really good. I really liked Hallie. I feel like she was a very like strong character and very realistic, and I don't know, I think that she was cool. I don't really love the couple together very much. I didn't really feel their chemistry. It's a cute like storyline, it just wasn't my favorite at all, and again it didn't feel like it's part of this series. So I ended up giving this 3.5 stars because I liked it and I would recommend it, but just not my favorite. Okay, so now let's move on to the thriller books that I read. So first we have Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Feeney. This is my first Alice Feeney book, and it's safe to say that I can't wait to read more of her books. So in this book you are following Adam and Amelia, who are a married couple, but they're having like issues, so they decide to go on a weekend away to Scotland to kind of like fix their marriage. But one thing about Adam is that he has facial blindness, so he can't see faces. So like part of the chapters you're following the 2 of them on their little trip and stuff gets like creepy and weird, but then the other part of it you are reading letters, which was so good, and I loved that aspect of it. I love when there's letters or stuff like that in books. It makes the story so fun and interesting, and the plot twist got me so good. I was literally like, it was so good. So I ended up giving this 4.75 stars. My only issue with this book is that I felt like there were a few questions that definitely needed to be answered, and the ending didn't really do it for me. I felt like what happened at the end was a little unnecessary and just a little weird to me, but nonetheless I loved this so much. And again, the letters, this was just so good. So I would highly recommend this book if you have not gotten to it yet. And last but not least, we have The Crash by Freida McFadden. This was a new release that came out at the end of January, so I was very excited to get to this one. This is the 13th Freida McFadden book that I've read, so I was very excited to pick this one up, and the premise of the story just sounds so interesting. You are following Tegan, who is 8 months pregnant, and she ends up getting into a serious car accident in a blizzard, and she thinks she's stuck. She thinks she's like done for good, but this man comes and saves her and takes her back to this cabin where he lives with his wife, and things just start getting creepy and weird, and she doesn't know who to trust, and you don't know who to trust either because you don't really know what's going on. I loved this storyline more than her other storylines. I feel like the way that it was all set up and just the setting of everything was a lot creepier than a lot of her other books, but there was like 2 plot twists at the end that literally like they didn't make sense to me, and I didn't really care. They didn't really do it for me. And when you're reading a thriller, one, you kind of want there to be plot twists like throughout the book. You don't want it to just be at the end. And 2, you want it to mean something to you. You want to be like shocked or just your life has changed kind of, and this did not do that whatsoever. So I was a little disappointed with the ending and everything, but again, I really liked the setting and I thought it was very interesting and creepy and captivating. So I ended up giving this 3.25. Again, definitely not my favorite Freida McFadden book. It just really lacked like plot twist and stuff like that, which is something I really look for in thrillers. So definitely wasn't my favorite, but I would recommend it because of the setting and everything. So with that being said, these are the 5 books that I read in February. So comment down below if you've read any of these. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys so soon. Bye!